Alright, hello, welcome to Blackcleave Cliffs. This week we are going to play a deck called Tasi-Burn, which is very similar to Naya-Burn in Modern. But we basically trade out our white for black. Namely, the Wild Mikados go, and we get Tasigurs instead, which is a more efficient Wild Mikado that's more resistant to Lightning Bolt. His ability very seldomly gets activated, but if you go into long game and you're drawing a ton of lands and you've got a Tasigur on the table, then that's something you can do. You can sink your mana. But most importantly, the fact that he costs 6 mana versus 7 for a Gurmag Angler makes him even more playable in this deck than Gurmag. Bump in the Knights also come in, which is 4 more effective Lightning Bolt to the face cards, and plus a 6 mana flashback on those. Again, late game you can get to that flashback cost, but again, very infrequently. So what we lose is we lose our Lightning Helix, and we lose our Deflecting Palm in the sideboard, and our Path to Exile in the sideboard, Core Firewalker in the sideboard. So a lot of the life gain action is kind of taken out, so we really need the Dragon's Claws on the side. There might be something else that works better, and I'll keep an eye out for something, but right now it's the Dragon's Claws that we need. I'm trying out a Self-Inflicted Wound, which so far is seeming really good in the games that I've played. I haven't been able to cast it much, but that might just be because I've only got the one. So very good against Jund or Junk or any sort of deck in that type. Let's see here. The sideboard is pretty quickly thrown together, to be honest with you, and I really need to think more about that. But the deck idea was taken from a lot of players online that have experimented with it, so I can't take credit for that. A lot of them didn't have a sideboard plan yet, but that of course varies based on the weekend or the metagame, and so there's still room for improvement there. So I'd like to hear your ideas on the sideboard if you've got them. So here we go, game 1. Let's see what we get. Okay, I'm on the play. That's a good one. Oop, wrong button. Alright, so having never played this deck before, I don't know 100% how I feel about the Shard Volleys. I'm thinking that they're kind of anti-synergistic because they need to sacrifice a land, and you really kind of need to aim to get to the higher land counts to flashback the Bump of the Night or get the Tasigur. I'm going to keep this hand. Let's see here. Let's do Bump of the Night. This card is very good. You can definitely see why you would want to go this way. Basically, we've got our, now I can't think of the card name, the 1 mana 3 damage sorcery that goes right to the opponent's face. Now we've got 12 of those in this deck, or 14 of those in this deck, plus 4 flashbacks on the bumps. Alright, so he's going to get my bolt. Now, the thing about Shard Volley and Tasigur is it doesn't lower the count for your Tasigur because you can still delve the land that you have to sacrifice to play it. So, that's not so bad. Let's see. So, by next turn, I can fetch with the Bloodstained. I'll have 3 in the yard. I can play the Shard Volley. Let's go to grab a green-red. So now if I Shard Volley, I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the yard. I could play the Tasigur. I think I want to wait because I do want to cast at Atarka's command, though. Oh boy. Okay, I'm going to just let him see what we got here. Probably coming for the Tasi. turn, we'll get him with the Atarka's command and put a land into play. And then we'll also get him with, let's wait on the Shard Volley. Alright, bump in the night. Okay, so I got him down to 8. Scavenging Ooze is bad news. If he fetches at the end of my turn, that's when I can kill the Scavenging Ooze before he gains a life from it. Let's see, how many creatures do we have out here? There's only one in the yard. So when he tries to target the Tasigur, then that's when I can blast the Scavenging Ooze. The question is, do I need to? Because if I save him 1 life that he's going to gain, I might as well be dealing him 3 damage. It's the difference between this becoming a shock or this becoming a 1 damage spell. And I'm okay taking damage for sure. Okay, we'll respond to that. So chances of getting up to 6 mana to flashback those Bump in the Nights is very low, but in the event that you get a really bad draw, that's something that you can count on. Alright, eat Tasigur, so he's up to 6. So now just about any burn spell will kill him, as long as it's not a Searing Blaze. Like that one. We'll do it. Now before I cast that, let me make sure he's got no creatures. I still have no creatures. We're in the clear. Alright, so in game 2, our sideboard is not completely formed yet. I kind of threw in a 1 of Self-Inflicted Wound to try that up. But I'm not sure how I feel about that. Obviously, it's going to be good against him right now. So we'll do that. And the Searing Blaze is questionable against him. The Tarmogoyfs are usually large enough where it's not going to be affected. So we're going to take one of those out in favor of that. The Molten Rain actually seems pretty good against him. In fact, I think we're going to do 2 Molten Rains in place of the Searing Blaze because we need to keep him off of his big mana. Let's see, what else do we want? Yeah, let's try that. So I'm worried about his Thrag Tusk and things like that coming in post board. This is a good hand. Now the build I've got right now, I really don't feel like it has enough fetch lands. I've got the full 4 Bloodstained Mire and the full 4 Wooded Foothills. But I think we could use at minimum 2 Arid Mesas. I've only got 1 right now. So now obviously Swiftspear is a good turn 1 play here. If it stays in my hand any longer. I think he'll probably grab the Swiftspear. But that tells me something about his hand if he doesn't. In fact, just about anything he takes is going to tell me something about his hand. Except for the lightning bolt, which is just straight up good in almost every situation here. Alright, command. Okay. So he could be concerned about the life gain mode, which in a lot of cases, you know, is the problem for game 2. Did he fetch? Oh yeah, okay. So no surprise there. Alright. Let's go with this. Oh, almost did the wrong one there. Lava Spike. Yeah, I think he's realizing now that he should have taken this guy. Alright, so not bad. Turn 2, he is at 9. Now, Jund is in a position where it needs a lot of fetch shock action. Okay, so he's done for. That was a quick one. There's match 1 with Tasi-Burn.